We want a block within reaching distance, and we will begin on our backs this morning. And as we get set up, you might give yourself a little blanket to support your head. And then depending on how your body feels, you may choose to start with your knees bent, or it might feel better to come into long legs. You're going to choose what makes sense for you. But as you settle in here, just let your eyes close. Let yourself just soften into the support that's beneath your body. And consciously shift awareness away from the mind into the body this morning. Feel your body breathing. Feel into the energy that's present in your body this morning. You might notice the run of thoughts that are present in your mind without engaging with those thoughts. Notice if there are any emotions lingering in your body today. Let yourself connect with the points of your body that are in contact with the ground. Rest a little more heavily into your heels. Into the points of your legs that make contact with the earth. Rest a little more heavily into your back. Into the parts of your arms that make contact with the earth. Feel your hands resting heavy. We're going to bring ourselves to begin this morning into a supported bridge pose. And for your supported bridge, the suggestion is to use a block, but if a block feels too tall first thing, you might slip a blanket underneath your body instead. We'll bring our knees into a bent position, feet on the earth if they are not already there. With your block in your hand, we'll try the block, press into your heels, lift your hips, and just slide that block here underneath your body. Good, and again, if this feels too intense, you might choose a folded blanket in the same position that block is in. Let's extend our arms out into a T shape. Back of our hands are still supported. Might rotate your palms facing up to the ceiling. Slide your right heel forward on the ground here. Keep that contact with your heel and the ground as your leg lengthens. Easy breath in and out. We're holding this posture with the right leg long and the left knee bent. Feel again into the points of your body that are supported here. Let those parts of your body that make contact with the earth rest a little bit heavier. Good. One more full breath in and out here. With your next breath, gently pull your long leg in and extend your other leg long. Let your body completely relax here. And we're staying present with our breath, present with the shifting sensations that show up in these longer held postures. We're here for this inhale, and we're here for the next. With your next breath, begin to pull your long leg in. Press into your heels to lift your hips. Slide that block out from beneath your body and come into a long line stretch of your body here, reaching your heels forward and your hands back and behind you. And stretch into the length of your body. You might interlace your fingers, might point your toes and then your heels forward. Just feel into the full length of your body here as you reach back with your fingers, forward with your feet. And then we'll bend into our knees, send our hands back into that T-shaped position with our palms facing up to the ceiling. Heel toe your feet just a smidgen wider than hips width distance here. And we'll come into a windshield wiper motion of your knees. And gently allowing our fascia to open this morning. And with this movement, we're inviting a bit more heat into our body. Go ahead and bring both knees to the right. We have two options here as we come into our twist this morning. You might take that lower leg, that right leg, and stack your foot on top of your left knee. If that doesn't cause knee pain, it's option one. Option two, if that does cause knee pain, go ahead and stack your knees one on top of the other. Wherever we are here, let's rotate our gaze to the left. Easy breath in and out. See where you can soften into this posture. As you soften consciously into your body, you might notice that the breath has more freedom to move within your body. Next exhale, release that foot if you have your foot on your upper knee. If the knees are stacked, we're going to slide them back out to the slightly wider than hip width, and we'll slide both knees over to the left side of your mat. Same options on this side. You might take that left foot and stack it on top of your right knee. You might stack knee over knee as we come into the side twist here. Choose what makes sense on this side of your body. Might even rotate your gaze now to the right. Easy breath here. Stay present. And we'll unstack if you have that lower leg stacked, or unstack the knees if the knees are stacked here. Bring yourself into a shape where you can move your knees and your nose back towards center, facing up towards the ceiling. And we'll bring our knees in towards our chest here. Go ahead and capture your kneecaps with your hands, fingers pointing down towards your ankles. Use your exhale to pull your knees as close as you can into your chest. Use your inhale to press your knees together and away from your chest. Going to keep that contact, hands and knees, throughout this Apanasana this morning. Exhale, pull your knees in close. Inhale, use your hands to press your knees out to arm's length. Moving with the rhythm of your breath here, inhaling as the knees come forward, exhale as your knees come inwards. And the next time your arms are straight, let your feet land, keep your knees bent. Take a shift over onto the right side of your body. Coming into the fetal position on the right side of your body. We're supporting ourselves with our left hand stacked in front of our chest. We have our knees bent, feet and ankles together. We're going to come into an easy clamshell movement here. So opening that top leg up, and then closing that top leg in. We're going to keep that contact of heels and ankles together as we open that top knee up and relax it downwards. Good. We can add an element of core support here by lifting the pelvic floor that's activated in that Mula Bandha as we lift our top knee up, and we're relaxing that Mula Bandha as we lower our top knee down. So it's a light core activation. We hold that activation as we lift our knee up, and we relax as we lower back down. Good. We'll do one more clamshell up in this side. As your foot lands here, hover your knee over your other knee, and we'll start to do a bicycle movement here. So one-legged bicycles. We're moving very slowly. We speed this movement up, it actually becomes easier. So as you slow this movement down, let yourself connect with the muscles that are recruiting as we find this circle bicycle movement on our side. Next time you come to that center point bicycle, switch the direction of your circle. Keep these movements very slow and very intentional. Next time we come back towards center, relax your knee down. Straighten into both legs. We're still on the right side body, but we're straightening into both legs. Keep using that top hand to support you. Press through your heels, pull your toes in towards your knee. Activate that lower right leg. Squeeze the muscles to the midline of your lower right leg. Use an inhale, lift your upper leg straight up. Keep this side plane of movement that we have here. We're exhaling to lower but not land. Feel that light activation that comes into your core to keep that movement. We're inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower, not land. Try to avoid that foot from coming into the plane in front or to the back of your body. We're really trying to keep this a straight line up from that lower heel. Straight line up here. Good. Notice those muscles of your abdomen working to support this controlled lower of your leg. So even though this feels much more like a leg stretch, leg workout, there is an element of core support, core strengthening happening here. Next time your leg is low, let your foot land. Go ahead and take a flip to your belly. You're going to be facing a wall behind you. That's okay. Coming onto our belly, and we're coming into our Sphinx pose. So elbows are down, heart is lifted. Breathing here. I'd like to invite a yin version of this pose. Yin yoga is when we hold our postures for longer, when we get more into the fascia. And in yin yoga, we actually let our shoulders shrug up towards our ears in this posture. So you can do that. Elbows are bent and supported on the ground. Or if it's available to you, walk your hands out wider than shoulders distance. And we're still doing that, letting our shoulders shrug up towards our ears. Almost like our cobra, but the hands are wider and the shoulders, we're kind of leaning into the fascia of the shoulders. So they're shrugging up here, arms are straight. And we're breathing here, easy breath in and out. And close your eyes. The teen yoga tends to have longer holds, and we're playing a little bit with that with some of our postures this morning. And this fascia is a tissue that connects all of the muscles and the organs and the skin of our body. There are these inner maps of movement within your body. And when we take these longer holds, it gives us an opportunity to really loosen the tightness that can develop. Here we're focused on the shoulders, a chronically tight area for a lot of folks. And so just feel the way sensation changes with these longer holds. Notice how your breath moves. Next exhale, very gently begin to lower your chest towards the ground. You can stack forearm on top of forearm. Rest your forehead down on your forearms. And let your body relax into this support. We're relaxing in our crocodile pose. Let's begin to shift now into fetal position on our left side. We started in fetal position on the right side. We're moving to our left side. The knees are bent, feet and ankles are stacked. Your lower hand can be supporting your head if that's comfortable. Upper hand stacked right in front of your chest, really helping support your body here. Gonna keep the heels and the ankles together as we lift our top knee up and then lower that top knee down. Little clam shell movements here. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Actually, that breath pattern is going to be switched. We're going to exhale to lift, inhale to lower, and that's going to support that core activation and that lift of the pelvic floor that we call the Mula Bandha. So if you're working with that, you're going to activate and lift the pelvic floor muscles, the lower abdominal muscles, lifting your knee up, holding that contraction, and then lowering your knee as you inhale. It's because that exhale empties the lungs, creates a little bit more space for that muscle activation that we're looking for here, that Mula Bandha, and it's a light Uddiyana Bandha happening. Good. As your knee lands here, we're going to lift and float our upper knee over the bottom knee and begin to find your slow bicycle movements here. See how much you can slow this movement down. Here's where we might start to see little differences as we practice this first on one side, and now we can feel it on the other. So just notice what you notice, no judgment. If you're noticing that one side feels a little stronger, one might feel a little less stable, or maybe a little more flexible. We'll go one more time in this direction, and then when you find your knee stacked over your lower knee, switch the direction of these bicycle circles. Good. Feel into the muscles that activate and support you here, and really get a lot more deep into these muscles when we slow this movement down like we're doing here. Beautiful. Next time you're stacking knee over knee, go ahead and lower your lifted leg. We'll straighten both legs long. Bring it to that long line of your body here. Keep your top hand in front of your chest. It's a little more difficult to balance as we come long. Press into your heels, pull your toes in. So flat feet here. Activate the muscles of your legs, pulling in towards the bone. Imagine those muscles wrapping around your bones here. Feel that light activation that might already be happening in your core, the abdominal muscles core here. And keeping our leg directly over that lower leg, we're going to inhale, lift. Exhale to lower. Good. Good. We're moving slowly here. And your heel is low. We'll go ahead and fully rest and relax your leg here. And this time, we're going to take a rotation to come back onto our back body. If you've been using a blanket, or if you push that blanket out of the way, yogi's choice. You'd like to bring it back in here to support your neck. We're going to come into our back body with our knees pointing up to the ceiling. Very good. Bring your hands down by your side. Press your palms down into the ground. As you press your palms down, lift the space between your shoulder blades away from the ground and walk your arms as close as they can come in towards your body here. We're going to keep that lift at the center of your shoulder blades. Press into your heels, lift your hips up towards the ceiling, and we'll press into our heels, lowering our hips down. So breathing here into our bridge pose, inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Yogi's choice, if you'd like, as your hips come up, you might also reach your arms up and over your head, reaching back and behind you. Send your hands back down and by your sides as your hips lower. We're moving at your own pace here. Go one more time, lift. As we lower, we'll relax here. Bring both knees in towards your chest, lifting your feet away from the ground. Capture your kneecaps with your hands, fingers pointing towards your ankles. Let's get a circle now into your hips. So circling your knees around the hip joints. And then we will circle in the opposite direction around our hip joints. And let go of your legs, let your feet land here, and we will bring ourselves in an upright position, setting ourselves up in our tabletop this morning. And go ahead and utilize that blanket if you'd like it beneath your knees. We will be in our knees for a little bit here. Good. As we come into our tabletop position, slide your right leg long and behind you. We have our toes down, heel lifted. Go ahead and press your heel back as far as you can, and then roll forward and over the toes if that's available to you. So we're rolling the heel back as far as we can, and then rolling forward as far as we can with that option to roll over your toes if you have that flexibility today. So we're pressing back on one breath, and we're shifting our weight forward and over the toes on another breath. So the toes really get a full range of motion here. We're coming into that full flexion as we press back into our heels. Then we're coming into that full stretch in the opposite direction as we bring the tops of our toes, the toenail side, to the ground. Pressing back on one breath, rolling forward on another. Beautiful. The next time we're coming forward here, bring your long leg in. We'll do the same on the other side, extending your other leg long. Start by pressing as far back as you can into your heel. Take that roll forward and over your toes. Good. Pair this movement with the rhythm of your body's breath. Next time we come forward here, bring your long leg inwards. Now lift your right leg up to hip height. Press through your heel, point your toes down towards the ground, keep that leg at hip height. Feel yourself distributing this weight equally between your three standing limbs. So fingers want to be spread nice and wide here. Avoid leaning to the left. We're not going to lean to the left right now. So really try to keep that right hand just as engaged as your left hand. Feel that long leg. And now I want you to bend just at your knee. Sole of your foot is parallel to the ceiling. We're keeping our knee up at hip height. Lift your gaze forward. See how that feels for your neck. If that doesn't feel good, you're going to stay gaze down here. Good, so we're already creating a little bit of a back bend here. If this is enough, we can stay here, or we can start to pulse, pressing that heel up towards the ceiling, keeping that bend in your knee, lowering your knee back to hip height. So we're never going lower than hip height. The option is to pulse or to hold at hip height. Either way, that knee stays bent throughout this movement. Beautiful. Next time your leg lowers, let's extend our leg long, same leg, right leg long. We're going to spin our lower knee out and behind us, out to the side. Drop your right heel and lift your right hand. So we're coming into a little variation of our side plank here. Reaching up into your top fingers, press into your bottom hand, press your ribs up towards the ceiling. Good. Option to stay here, top hand reaching straight up, or extend those fingers towards the front of the room. Good. Little variation of our extended side angle with your right foot down, right fingers reaching towards the front of the room. And we'll exhale, coming back to our tabletop position here. 2 hands down, 2 knees down. Take your left heel now up to hip height. We're pressing through the heel, pointing our left toes down towards the ground. Feel here that weight equally distributed between both hands and your one knee now. Bend into your left knee. We're pointing the sole of your foot up towards the ceiling. Back of your thigh is also parallel with the ceiling. Lift your gaze forward. See how this side feels with gaze forward. Good. Option to stay here in stillness, or we'll find that pulsing movement, lifting your knee a little bit higher and bringing it down to hip height. This is not a huge range of motion here. Good. Next time that knee is at hip height, go ahead, extend your leg long. That lower leg, we're going to spin our foot back and behind us. Drop the heel of your left leg, and we're bringing those left fingertips up towards the ceiling here. Good. Press into that bottom hand, exaggerate that stretch of your ribs up towards the ceiling. You might stay here, top hand reaching directly over your shoulder, or you might extend your arm parallel to your ear, reaching your arm towards the front of the room. Breathe wherever you are. Use your next breath, bring yourself back to your tabletop position, hands and knees. We'll come into a kneeling position if that's comfortable for you, kneeling here. Beautiful. If kneeling is uncomfortable, you can always be cross-legged. Otherwise, we are kneeling here. Let's mobilize the neck. You'll release into your head and your neck. Lovely. And let's rotate in the opposite direction into your head and your neck. Beautiful. So we come back towards center, interlace your fingers. Let's take the movement into our wrist. And we'll rotate in the opposite direction into our wrist. Lovely. Releasing your hands, let's return to our hands and our knees. Fingertips spread wide, knees, hips width distance apart. Good, extend your right leg up to hip height. Press through your heel. Keep those toes pointing down towards the ground. Feel the muscles of your leg hugging towards your bone. Going to rotate that lower leg backwards. Keep your right leg lifted as we lift our right hand up towards the ceiling. Pull the toes of your long leg in. Hug the muscles to the bone. Press into your bottom hand. Get that integrity of reaching up through your lifted hand. We're in our kneeling half moon posture. Option to stay here or bend into your lifted leg, reach back, grab a hold of your foot or your ankle. Yogi's choice here. We want to stay in a place we can breathe with ease. Beautiful. If you have a hold of your foot or your ankle, let's come back to our classic kneeling half moon, leg long, arm long. Shift both hands, both knees down towards the ground. Uncurl your toes, send your hips towards your heels, brow down, coming into our pose of the child. Soften into the support beneath you here. Let's inhale, walk yourself back up tall, tall to your hands and your knees. Keep your fingertips spread wide here, knees, hips width distance apart. Spine wants to be parallel to the ground. Good. Head and neck in alignment with our spine. Take your left leg now long. We're reaching out at hip height. Press through your heel, pull your toes in. Feel the muscles pull in towards your midline on your long left leg. And we'll bring that bottom leg out to the side. Lift your left fingertips up towards the ceiling. We're coming into our kneeling half moon here. Keep that lifted leg strong. Feel those muscles pulling inwards. Feel that energy radiating out through the center of your heel and through your heart center shining forward. Also through those lifted fingertips. Might stay here leg long, or you might take that option to fold at your knee, reaching back, grab a hold of your foot or your ankle. We'll release if you have that bind, coming back into long leg, long arm. Transition, two hands, two knees down. And we'll once more find ourselves in our pose of the child. Next breath, walk your hands in, sit yourself upwards, and we will find ourselves in our easy seated pose, whatever that means to you. Easy seated pose, whatever feels available this morning. Beautiful. Let's drop our right hand down, extend our left arm up and over. Maybe a block underneath your hand if the floor feels far. And we'll do the same on the other side, left hand down, right hand reaching. Good. Move with your own breath here. Coming into these seated side stretches. You're welcome to stay in motion here, or the next time you come to the right, you might pause and breathe. Take a nice longer hold if it calls to you. And if you're in that longer hold, take a moment to see how it feels to rotate your gaze in different directions. There's no one way that we need to look here. So notice what your body needs to feel at ease. Let your breath move without effort. Inhale, reaching with your top hand, rooting with that hand on the other side. As we come into this longer hold of our side stretch, again, see what your body needs with your neck. So rotating gaze, maybe down, maybe straight ahead, maybe up. Inhale here, coming back towards the center, facing forward. If you are in cross-legged, there's space if you choose to reverse the cross of your leg. If you're wearing glasses, we'll move those here. We're going to bring our palms together and rub your palms back and forth, creating some friction. Rubbing quickly, activating those palm chakras, those energy centers in our hands. And then drape your hands over your eyes here. I want you to open your eyes underneath your hands and rotate your gaze up towards your brows. Now shift both of your eyes looking up and diagonal to the right. Shift your gaze back up towards your brows. And shift your gaze up and diagonal to the left. Shift your gaze looking directly up towards your brows. Now bring your gaze directly over to the right, not diagonal, just over to the right. Move your gaze through center now over to the left. Allow your eyes to close and your hands to drop. And just take a moment here in stillness. Beautiful. Eyes could stay closed or they might open as we come into our seated twist here. We'll take a rotation to the right. And shifting your gaze forward. And we'll rotate to the left. And shifting your gaze forward. We will set up for our Shavasana. And coming around with our eye pillows. Feel free to ask for any extra support you might need as we come into that resting pose. I'm going to dim the lights for us. Do you need anything extra? Deep blanket or anything? You're welcome. Welcome. As you settle in here, come back to that space of full relaxation of the body. Allow your body to be heavy and supported by the earth beneath you. Just feel into your body breathing. And begin to invite some movement into your toes and into your fingers. Bring that movement into your wrists and your ankles. And as you feel ready, come back to that full body stretch that we began with. Nice big stretch of your whole being. Maybe you'll bring your knees towards your chest. Find some gentle movement side to side. Invite yourself to come to rest easy on one side. Use your top hand pressing down to lift your body up to a comfortable seat. We'll join our hands here at heart center. And take a moment of appreciation for carving out this time that's just for you. Allow that appreciation to expand to include this breath and energy body, this physical body. And we'll close our practice today with a single sound of Om. If you'd like to join in, we'll use our next inhale. Ah.